Our story begins with Haruka, a kind and hopeful girl, writing down a list of dreams she wants to achieve after high school. A year later, we find her working hard as a waitress. While she's still the same sweet person, her spark seems dimmed. After an exhausting shift, she comes home to a messy apartment and collapses into bed. The next morning, she rushes to work and catches a glimpse of herself in a window reflection. She barely recognizes the tired girl staring back and remembers how much more put together she used to be. Lost in thought, she bumps into a stunningly beautiful and confident young woman. Later, on her birthday, Haruka is excited because her coworker, Kuro, promised to take her out, but when she sees him, he makes a weak excuse and cancels. Heartbroken, she feels foolish for even buying new makeup for the occasion. The same beautiful woman from before happens to see this and takes pity on Haruka. She decides to help, giving Haruka a stunning head-to-toe makeover. With her new look and a boost of confidence, Haruka goes to see Kuro. He's completely shocked by her transformation, calling her beautiful, and immediately asking to take her out to make up for forgetting her birthday. Overjoyed, she says yes. The next day, Haruka brings a thank you gift to her new friend, whose name is Haika. She begs Haika to help her become more confident. Haika happily agrees. The following morning, Haruka wakes up to find her apartment magically clean and tidy. Her shock turns to pure panic when a handsome young man walks out of her bathroom. He calmly explains that he's the one who cleaned and that he is Haika. Haruka is utterly confused, wondering who the woman she met yesterday was. Haika reveals it was all a disguise to stay hidden from people he's avoiding. Despite the strange situation, he promises to keep his word and help her. At work, Kuro asks Haruka on a proper date to a party. She nervously agrees. Haika steps in as his style coach, pushing her to be bold and choose a beautiful outfit. For the first time, Haruka feels ready. At the party with Kuro, she's initially nervous but starts to have a good time. Then she spots Haika, this time appearing as himself, a man, with his famous friend Sho. Haika pulls her aside and gives her another pep talk, telling her to act naturally and be herself. Just as she's trying to be more confident with Kuro, Haruka trips. Haika catches her in a dramatic, romantic hold. Kuro sees them and is clearly surprised and a little jealous, but the moment passes. Later, Kuro invites Haruka and tells her to bring her friend, Haika, on a camping trip. They arrive to find they have to share a room, forcing Haruka and Haika to keep up their act. In their room, Haruka finds her old list of dreams and feels a pang of sadness that she hasn't achieved any of them. She tells Haika that if he had been with her, she might have. That night, Kuro finds her and asks a direct question. Does she like him? She bravely says yes. He tells her he's flattered and loves how she's changed her look for him, but then he delivers a crushing blow. He's not ready for a relationship because a past girlfriend hurt him badly. Haruka's joy instantly shatters, leaving her heartbroken and confused once again. After Kuro's rejection, Haruka's left confused. She tries to understand his mixed signals, but he insists they should just take things slow and get to know each other as friends first. They return to find Haika has had too much to drink. To avoid a scene, Haruka helps a tipsy Haika back to their shared room. There, Haika is amused when Haruka tells him to take off his makeup, joking that he's usually the one giving instructions. As Haika goes to take a shower to sober up, he runs into Kuro outside. Kuro, intrigued, asks if Haika has a twin sister. Haika nervously says no and tries to leave, but Kuro stops him. Are you in love with someone? Kuro asks. Haika first denies it, then teasingly says yes. Kuro, thinking he's made a new friend, asks for his number. Haika reluctantly gives a fake name, Ko, and a fake number before escaping back to the room, where he finds Haruka asleep. In her dreams, she mumbles a confession of love for someone named Basam, which leaves Haika looking troubled. The next day, Haruka is chatting with Haika at work when she gets a message from Kuro. Haika seems annoyed, and we discover why. He has secretly been working as Kuro's hairdresser, something Haruka doesn't know. When Kuro's manager offers Haika a permanent job at the salon, Haika is cornered. Then Kuro calls Haruka to come down, supposedly to help with something. Panicked that she will discover his secret, Haika hides. When Haruka arrives, he pretends to be sick in the bathroom. Ever-kind Haruka even brings him medicine. Haika tries to sneak out but forgets his bag. When he goes back for it, he comes face to face with Haruka, who recognizes him and calls him by his real name. For a tense moment, it seems the secret is out, but Haika quickly pretends to be Ko. Both of them play along, but the close call leaves them shaken. Haika later tells Kuro he was just testing Kuro's character, and the awkward moment passes. Later, Haruka is at a makeup store, unsure what to buy. Haika finds her and helps her choose. She reveals she actually wants to buy him a gift to thank him for all his help and to wish him good luck job hunting. Haika laughs, saying she can't even pick out her own clothes, but he is genuinely touched by her thoughtful gesture. Meanwhile, Kuro agrees to go on a day trip with Haruka. He also remembers that Haika, Ko, admitted to liking a girl, and he seems determined to find out who it is. The next morning, Haruka shows up in a beautiful new dress, stunning Haika. She announces she's finally going to confess her feelings to Kuro today and asks for his opinion. Haika, hiding his own feelings, gives her a pep talk and helps her with her makeup. He warns her that his first impression of Kuro wasn't great, but she insists that even if she's rejected, they'll always be friends. Haruka meets Kuro, who is waiting for her. Before she can speak, he has something to say himself. He asks her to be his girlfriend. Haruka is overjoyed and immediately says yes. She floats through the rest of their date in a happy daze, unable to believe her luck. She rushes to tell Haika the news, gushing about how nice and respectful Kuro is. Haika, masking his pain, makes a strained joke and agrees to meet them both at the end of the week, all while secretly planning something. On their group outing, Kuro compliments Haruka's appearance. Suddenly, a famous blogger named Meow calls out to Kuro. She is his ex-girlfriend. She apologizes for how things ended, saying she left to work on her self-confidence, and credits Kuro for inspiring her. She assumes the stylish Haika is Kuro's new fiancé, but Kuro points to Haruka. Meow apologizes for the mistake. As they talk, Meow sees Haika's skill with makeup and proposes a business partnership, wanting to become famous together. Kuro coldly shuts her down, saying his heart belongs to someone else. Haruka, surprised, whispers, "You love a girl without telling me?" But he just tells her to be quiet. Later, Kuro takes Haruka home. Feeling bold, she nervously invites him over for a home-cooked meal at the end of the week. After a moment's silence, he agrees. When the day arrives, Haruka is in a panic in the kitchen. Haika shows up like a magic wand, taking control of the cooking and saving the meal. Haruka admits she's upset at herself for not being honest with Kuro about her lack of skills. Haika tells her she should at least try to impress him, but in her fluster, Haruka accidentally burns herself with hot oil. Haika rushes to help Haruka, gently holding her burned hand under cool water. She's touched by his concern and thanks him. Curious, she asks about the mysterious girl he loves. Haika confesses it's an almost impossible love because he's afraid of causing problems for her. Haruka encourages him not to hide his feelings, but their deep talk is cut short when she remembers her burnt food. They sit down to eat the salvaged meal together. Haruka, happy and dreaming of the future, asks what Haika will wear to her wedding someday. She pictures him in a sharp suit. Just then, Kuro arrives sweaty from his sudden errand. He asks to use her shower. While he's cleaning up, his phone rings non-stop. Meow's name flashes on the screen. Haika arrives outside, thinking of texting Haruka, but he deletes the message. He sees Kuro rush out and asks Haruka what happened. She explains he got a call and left in a hurry, making all her effort feel wasted. Worried, Haika checks on her and learns Meow was the caller. Haika insists they go find Kuro to see what's really going on, but Haruka hesitates, wanting to be a loyal girlfriend who trusts him. Haika pushes her to go, saying they need to know the truth to decide the fate of her relationship. They find Kuro with Meow. In a flashback, we see their history. They were high school sweethearts who got engaged, but Meow suddenly broke it off to transfer schools. In the present, Kuro tells Meow he's not upset she used their story for her blog, he's upset that he wasn't more sensitive to her pain back then. As they talk, Meow leans in to wipe something off Kuru's shirt. This is the moment Haruka and Haika see them, and it looks intimate. Meow explains she called Kuro because a stalker was frightening her, and he was the only person she knew in town. Kuro offers to take her home to safety, but Haika sharply insists that he will do it instead, leaving Haruka to awkwardly agree that it's for the best. The next day, Kuro apologizes to Haruka for the chaos. As they talk, news breaks that Meow's stalker has been arrested. Relieved, Kuro promises Meow she can always call him if she's scared, which Haruka quietly accepts. Later, Haika calls to note it's been a month since Haruka and Kuru's engagement. Haruka is sure Kuro is planning a surprise. She daydreams of a romantic evening, but Haika snaps her back to reality. At school, Haruka gets a shock. She discovers Meow is on the judging committee for a project she's involved in. Trying to cheer her up, Haika takes her shopping for a nice outfit for her 1-month anniversary date. He assures her that Kuro loves her. That night, Kuro takes her to a famous restaurant. He's incredibly sweet, telling her this special place is for his dear girlfriend. Feeling guilty, Haruka apologizes for eavesdropping on his conversation with Meow days earlier. Kuro also apologizes and reveals Meow was actually advising him on how to be a better boyfriend to Haruka. Thrilled, Haruka asks him why he likes her. He says he admires everything about her, especially how she always stays true to herself. After dinner, they stop at a jewelry store where Kuro decides to buy her an anniversary ring. The next day, he looks out the window and sees Haruka walking alone, looking completely lost. He runs down to her. "Don't you have a meeting?" she asks. He tells her it ended early and asks what's wrong. Haruka drops a bombshell. "I broke up with him." She explains that since Meow came back, her confidence has been shattered. She feels Meow is more suitable for Kuro and that he's still attached to her. When she's with him, she has to pretend to be happy and normal, but she doesn't feel that he does the same. She remembers the final straw. She told Kuru she no longer felt safe and comfortable in their relationship. To her surprise, he simply said, "I'm sorry," and agreed to break up without a fight. She tells Heike this just confirmed her fears. He must still love Meow. She insists she's fine and she's the one who ended it, but suddenly she breaks down crying, confessing she's heartbroken that all her effort and hope led to this. Heike stays with her all night to comfort her. When she wakes up the next morning, she finds him still there, a steady presence in her time of pain. The next day, Heike is in a meeting with his friend and business partner, Sho. They're struggling to find the perfect model for their big project. Just then, Heike gets a call from Haruka. She's decided to get a haircut. Meanwhile, Kuru is lost in his memories of Haruka. His ex, Meow, finds him and is surprised to hear they broke up. She tries to cheer him up by suggesting he makes a list of all the negative things from his past relationships. Over with Haruka, Heike decides to fix the haircut she messed up. He gives her a stunning new style that everyone loves. Sho can't stop staring at her and suddenly has a brilliant idea. Haruka looks exactly like the model they've been searching for. He asks her to be their model, but a nervous Haruka quickly says no. They take her to see the runway anyway, hoping to convince her. As Sho is explaining how important this project is for their future, especially Heike's, someone calls out for Heike. He steps outside and is shocked to see his father, who starts yelling at him for running away and disguising himself as a woman. Haruka bravely steps in, defending Heike and telling his father that no one is allowed to bully him, not even his family. She stands up for him and Heike, touched, leads her away. The next day, Kuru sees Haruka at work for the first time since their breakup. He compliments her new hair and asks how she is. She wonders why he never asked why she ended things. He said he didn't want to upset her by making her talk about it, and that he was happy during their time together. Later, Haruka runs into Meow, who asks if she was the reason for the breakup. Haruka says no, explaining that Meow was just the starting point. Her relationship with Kuru was never truly right. Meow then confesses she still has feelings for Kuru and wanted to make him feel guilty. Haruka surprisingly thanks her for her honesty. Haruka decides to embrace her new role as Heike and Sho's model, practicing her walk at her waitressing job and amazing everyone with her natural talent. Heike's mother sees his name in a magazine and feels proud, remembering Haruka's kind words about him. But his father arrives and angrily dismisses Heike, saying he is no son of his after the disguise stunt. Out of fitting, Heike is nervous around Haruka. When she almost falls, he catches her, and the close contact flusters both of them. The next day, as he applies her makeup, he feels the same nervous energy. Haruka is a bundle of nerves, but when it's her turn to walk the runway, she transforms. She steps out with radiant confidence and elegance, captivating the entire audience. Heike's mother is in the crowd, beaming with pride. Heike and Sho win first prize. He thanks Haruka for her vital help. Overjoyed, Haruka runs to hug him, but he subtly moves away, confusing and hurting her. Meow sees this and tells Heike it's obvious he has feelings for Haruka, warning him that if he doesn't act soon, someone else will swoop in. Heike looks worried. Later, Meow gives Haruka a gift to congratulate her. She casually mentions that with this success, Heike will likely get amazing job offers abroad, including in Korea. Haruka is shocked by the idea of him leaving. She finds Heike to thank him, and he gives her a makeup box to show his gratitude. As they talk, she admits he is her best friend and that she loves him. Heike, thinking she means platonically, doesn't respond the way she hopes. Blurting out that he might be moving to Korea, he sees her face fall. She begs him not to leave their friendship behind. To comfort her, Heike tells her it was just a joke, that he will stay with her forever. Relieved, she hugs him tightly. Later, Sho asks Heike about the joke, and Heike confesses he was serious about the job offer, but turned it down because he wants to stay for Haruka, because he's in love with her. Heike then asks Haruka on a small trip. She agrees, nervously convincing herself it's just two friends hanging out. When she sees him, he's dressed not in his usual disguise, but as himself, confident and handsome. She tells him how happy she is to see him living without fear. At a restaurant, a waiter assumes they are a couple and brings them a romantic dessert. He doesn't correct him, which surprises Haruka. They visit an aquarium, and Haruka is so happy, but also terrified of her growing feelings. She tries to avoid any talk of love, but Heike gently asks her if she likes anyone. She says no, insisting she's happy just being friends. Finally, Haruka stands in front of a mirror and finds the courage to be completely honest. She finds Heike and confesses everything. She tells him she knows he loves another woman, but she can't hide her own feelings for him any longer. She loves him. Heike is silent for a moment. He then pulls out 2 tickets for a boat cruise and explains that he bought them for them. He was planning to confess his love to her that night. The other woman he always talked about, it was her all along. He loves her. Overwhelmed with joy, Haruka decides to cook him a special meal at her home, a recipe from her mother. As they eat, he reassures her that he loves her and isn't rushing anything. Just hearing her say he loves him is enough. She says she truly loves him and apologizes for not realizing it sooner. He tells her they should forget the past and start a new story together right now. He moves closer to her and for the first time gives her a gentle, loving kiss.